Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. The split is happening from third dimensional consciousness to multidimensional consciousness, higher dimensional consciousness. Today we'll be talking about symptoms that you may be experiencing right now during this intense energetic phase. If you're in an uncomfortable stage of your life where your old self is gone but your new self isn't fully born yet, you're in the midst of transformation. Many ancient cultures have predicted that at one point in time people will start waking up from materialistic living that was all about strife, greed and spiritual degradation into a new age that is characterized by virtue, righteousness, truth and spiritual enlightenment. It is considered the golden age where humanity is in harmony with the divine and nature. And this is what is happening right now. In many ancient cultures, this transition was predicted and it is happening exactly right now, as around 2160 years ago, the age of Pisces has begun. And each zodiac age lasts for about 201,060 years, so which means that the age of Pisces has ended or is ending, and we're in the transition into the age of Aquarius, which is also known as the golden age, which was predicted in many ancient cultures. We have to remind ourselves that no other form of life on earth has the capacity to love selflessly, to embrace change by choice in a healthy way, to self-heal, to self-regulate longevity, or to activate the immune response on demand. And no other form of life has the capacity to experience deep intuition, sympathy, empathy, and ultimately compassion, all of which are expressions of love, and to do so on demand. And when people start waking up to those realizations, we ask ourselves, well, why haven't we mastered those virtues? Why haven't we mastered all those capacities yet? And we recognize, well, because maybe nobody taught us how to do that. Maybe nobody empowered us that actually we have this capacity within. But what's happening, people are beginning to recognize how incredible we are. So these uniquely human experiences are telling us that our lives have purpose, and the purpose is simply to embrace these abilities in order to know ourselves in their presence, right? This is something truly incredible that is happening. And Hopi people, for example, Hopi means peaceful people. Hopi people had declaration of peace, and I want to read it to you before we go into the symptoms of this energy, because this is something truly beautiful and powerful for this time. It is in the power of the true Hopi people to unify the minds and spirits of all true peace-seeking peoples of the earth. They say Hopi means peaceful people. Is that you, my friend? A peaceful person? Is that you? So Hopi means peaceful people, and the truest and greatest power is the strength of peace, because peace is the will of the Great Spirit. But do not think that just because the true Hopi people have been told by the Great Spirit never to take up arms, that the true Hopi people will not fight, even die for what we know to be the right way of life. The true Hopi people know how to fight without killing or hurting. The true Hopi people know how to fight with truth and positive force in the light of the Great Spirit. The true Hopi people know how to educate by clear thoughts, good pictures, and by carefully chosen words. The true Hopi people know how to show to all the world's children the true way of life by setting an example, by working and communicating in a way that reaches the minds and hearts of all people who are truly seeking the methods of a simple and spiritual life, which is the only life that will survive. The true Hopi people preserve the sacred knowledge about the way of the earth, because the true Hopi people know that the earth is a living, growing person, and all things on it are her children. The true Hopi people know how to show the right way of life to all the world's people who have ears to listen, who have eyes to see, and who have hearts to understand these things. The true Hopi people know how to generate enough power to link up the forces of the minds and spirits of all the true children of the earth, and to unify them with the positive force of the Great Spirit, so that they may put an end to affliction and persecution in all afflicted places in this world. The true Hopi people declare that Hopi power be a force which will bring about world change. And once people start noticing that within their hearts, recognizing who they are, people will bring this change onto the world by them becoming the change. And that is something really, really powerful. Do you feel that this is awakening within yourself? Do you feel it right now? Let me know in the comment section, because something really powerful is happening on this planet. And I know when we look outside, a great chaos may be visible to many of us. But even chaos in science is just a phase between one order and another. So we are going towards a new order, but it's up on us what kind of order we will create with our actions, with our decisions. Our life is built out of tiny little choices we make on moment by moment basis. So when we look around us, we have to ask ourselves, are we making conscious choices? Are we making intentional choices? So the results will be, rather than what we don't want, they will be the fruits of our efforts, the fruits of our intentions. And that is something really beautiful that can happen when we just start to live a bit more intentionally, until we become fully intentional. So what are the signs? I want to give you 8 signs or symptoms you may be experiencing during this incredible transition right at this time. You may experience a heightened energy sensitivity right now, an increased sensitivity to energy fluctuations during this phase, which could lead to heightened intuition, heightened emotional awareness, or even some physical sensations. Sometimes people experience some headaches, or they experience a certain tension in a certain part of the body. Usually there's a stored stress or something that requires some awareness. And usually if we meditate on it a little bit, we may free that energy. Or sometimes we have to do certain movement, like certain yoga or breathing practices, so we can free that energy. But during this phase, we may have a heightened energy sensitivity, which is really beautiful to work with if we meditate on it, if we in tune with our bodies. Obviously, often during this time, it's important to take care of your sleep, so you're sleeping enough, because you may feel a bit more tired than usually, you may feel a bit more exhausted. So make sure that you're taking care of your energy. Make sure that you're not getting into fights or into certain, arguments or whatever. Or even if you do, make sure that you also take it easy after that, and you work on forgiveness, and you work on self-care and self-kindness, and most importantly, self-compassion. So, you can give that love to yourself that you deserve. Be easy on yourself right now. And just recognize what is awakening with this energy. You have this unique intuitive capacity, as I mentioned before. And try to notice if your intuition is telling you something that you have to know right now. Or you may notice certain emotional tension, maybe, like awareness of your traumas. Like you may notice that your emotions are controlling your behaviors in an unhealthy way. Like you get easily triggered. You easily start to fight with somebody. You're protecting your wounds. Nothing wrong here, but pay more attention to it and notice what kind of wounds are you protecting right now. Like what is the pain you're still holding within your heart that just needs to be acknowledged and maybe expressed to somebody who loves you to such a degree that is willing to listen to you without judging you and without, just being smart on you. Someone who can just listen to you with an open heart. So be willing to dive a little bit deeper into your body and notice what is arising. This energy is purifying. It is helping you to purify your system, but you have to work with it. And it's not often an easy job, especially if we're too busy with our daily life. So make sure that you're also taking time for yourself. The second sign is that you're experiencing energy shifts. Those are shifts in energetic state, feeling more connected to the environment or experiencing changes in our own vibrational frequency, which means that we may experience rises of frequency and then also falls of frequency or fallings of frequency. And when we experience rises of frequency, we usually connect to something higher. We often feel inspired to do something and even enthusiastic to make certain changes or whatever may call us, whatever idea or inspiration may call us. And when we experience those fallings of frequency, we may be more tired. So we may experience what we'll call later these mood fluctuations, mood shifts, swings, right? So energetic shifts are happening right now and they are not really stable yet as energies are rising, which means that there's many shifts happening. It's not a balanced and kind of stable energy. There's a lot of shifts and it's actually important because, if you imagine if you're doing something where you're not really balanced with it, but you're consistently pushing it through, means that you're constantly finding new ways to do it, right? When you become stable with something, it means that you discover one way that works. But before you become stable at it, you're constantly trying new ways. Your actions are fluctuating, right? You're trying all kinds of different ways until you find one that becomes the most stable. And that's what's happening right now. Energy shifts are happening. So at one point, this higher frequency will become more stable. And that will be what many ancient prophecies have predicted, a new age, a golden age. So it is manifesting slowly, but we have to know that we are working with it. We are allowing it to happen, or we are blocking it to happen. We have to work with it. We have to heal our past, to let go of what is not allowing us to be the highest possible version of ourselves we can be, right? The third symptom you may experience right now is mood fluctuation, something I've mentioned before, mood swings. You may experience irritability or restlessness, and usually the sign suggests a possibility that you've been influenced with these energies and your emotional well-being is kind of, rocking a little bit, shaking a little bit. Nothing wrong here. It just means that you're moving through a changing or transformative period that is allowing you to notice what is out of alignment. It is allowing you to notice what is triggering you. It is allowing you to notice what doesn't work for you anymore. In this phase, it's really important to make sure that you have well nurtured sleeping cycles, so you're sleeping well. If you have sleeping problems, do some studies on that, like research a little bit how to make your sleeping better, right? How to take care of your deep restorative sleep so your body can recharge. Also, in the middle of the day or during your days, take some breaks and do small or short meditations or something that helps you to recharge yourself. In these days, I'm often doing what's called sound bath therapies. You know, when you're listening gongs or the sound of those singing bowls, which are producing the really healthy natural frequencies that helps to put the cells in our bodies into its natural rhythm, its natural order. It's really pleasant, really healing. But for people who still hold to a lot of trauma, the sounds may awaken those traumas because the sounds are helping you to release them. So a lot of negative thoughts may come to the surface, and you just need to be objective. Don't judge yourself if this happens. And just, try to see lessons in those moments. Try to appreciate maybe the good insights that may be found in bad thoughts. This is something really deep and sometimes hard to understand, but if you're maybe journaling on what came up, like writing your thoughts down, you will come to a deeper understanding of what's happening. The fourth symptom that you may be experiencing right now is spiritual insights. It is happening right now to many people. Enhanced spiritual awareness, deeper meditation experiences. If you are meditating a lot, you may experience much more deeper meditations right now, or even a sense of being more connected to the higher self or the universe, or what I call the inner self, because the higher self is actually your true self, which lives within you. So as you're experiencing this sensations of deeper connection, you may go outside into the nature and you feel more connected with nature than ever before. You may feel more aligned maybe with trees, with birds, with animals than ever before. You may even find that if you have a pet, you may find that you've kind of developed a deeper connection at this point, because even pets and all animals may feel you as your energy is rising. They will feel more pleasant being around you, and they will feel more safe. As your energy is rising, it is becoming more loving, more peaceful, more harmonized. It is slowly crystallizing, especially if you're doing the healing work, the healing work, like the inner child healing or shadow work or emotional healing, however you want to call it. If you're doing the work, your energy is purifying, and animals can feel it the most. Also, little kids may feel that energy. That's why they feel drawn to you. Sometimes strangers, or people, random people passing by, and they just open up to you. Or their animals come to you and feel completely safe with you. It's a sign that you have higher frequency that attracts animals and kids, and anyone who's open to perceive energy that way. If you're feeling that, you are working with energy right now, or actually energy is working with you. And many spiritual insights may find you at this time. So really be in tune with that, meditate on it, and write down your thoughts. The fifth symptom that you may experience right now is an inner transformation. As we seek to align ourselves with the changing energies, we can't ignore that. Like we can resist to it, and we'll constantly feel tense, we'll feel like something is weird. But if we in tune with those changing energies, we recognize that the changing energies are calling us to change, right? We may experience a need to change, maybe certain habits, maybe certain beliefs that are still holding us back. And often it includes our diet, it includes our maybe workout routines, it calls us to be more active or to be less active if we are too active sometimes. It may call us to get our attention to certain new specific topics or subjects, or to connect with certain people, or to do something completely new, right? Because sometimes our bodies may go through something we've been not aware of it. Like we may have something connected to our health that we've been ignoring for such a long time, but suddenly you can't ignore it anymore. Suddenly thoughts are constantly reminding you, take care of this, call that person, do a research, go there and make a checkup, or whatever it is. It's a sign of inner transformation. But transformation can only take place when you remove what doesn't work and you apply more of what works. That's the process of transformation, letting go of what is out of alignment and embodying more of what is in alignment. So we start living more within our truth. So we have to know what is our truth. We have to know what vibrates with us, what resonates with us, so we can live in symphony with life, right? The sixth symptom is that you're experiencing at this phase a lot of synchronicities. Is that happening to you? Increased possibility in synchronicities. To me, synchronicities are signs from life that we are making certain changes that are causing effects. And synchronicities are often those signs that are reminding us that we are doing the right thing, that we are syncing our energy with a new potential future. We are not there yet, but we are getting towards it. Like I said at the beginning, you are in this uncomfortable stage of your life where your old self is gone, but your new self isn't fully born yet. So you're in the midst of transformation. And in the midst of this transformation, you experience a lot of synchronicities. So if that is you right now, you are experiencing the shifts that are happening. And try to see what the synchronicities are telling to you. Sometimes it may happen that similar information is coming from different sources. So I would study the information, what's coming up, what can I learn from it, what it is trying to tell me, and then apply what you've learned, embody that knowledge, maybe master it, and you will notice that your life will completely change. So the purpose of synchronicities is most definitely not to ignore them, but to study them, to be grateful for them, to appreciate them, to appreciate yourself, that you've put yourself onto this journey of self-discovery, self-mastery, right? Self-knowledge. So you can find out once again, remember once again why you've come here at the first place, right? Because you're here on a mission. You're here with purpose, as I mentioned before. So keep it up, my friend. The seventh symptom is related to our dreams. You may be having vivid dreams right now, maybe lucid dreams, maybe profound spiritual insights may find you during your sleep. It's often happening when we have this intense energies that our subconscious mind starts projecting to us what we need to know. So dreams always have deep symbols for our lives. And if we start journaling on our dreams, like every single day when you wake up, write down what you've been dreaming about. You will notice that while writing your dreams down, more memories will awaken. And as more memories awaken, suddenly you will also start to feel what those dreams may mean to you, what they are symbolizing for you. Don't Google it. Try to, ask your heart what I have to learn here. And if you're not remembering your dreams, don't worry. Don't worry about it. Maybe in your meditation something may happen. Maybe in your long walk in nature you may experience a moment of clarity that will remind you of what you needed to know. But don't force realizations. Realizations are, like a dirty water. That's your maybe poisoned mind. If you have a dirty water in the glass and you put it onto a table, you leave it there for a few minutes, and the dirt in the water will fall down onto the surface, and at the top of the glass you will see pure water, clean water. That's how our mind works. Often people want to force certain realizations, want to force like, what I have to know here, like, please give me a sign, please give me an answer. But all you truly need is to allow it to happen. Allow it to happen by being at peace with yourself. When you're struggling with something, let it be and go for a walk, go for a run, do a workout. Like, I often go outside on my bike. I love road cycling. I love mountain biking. I go outside, and during the ride, I experience clarity. So we have to know that nothing in nature works with forcing, but actually with flow. Nature works under the law of flow. I call it that way. So when we put ourselves into the flow state, we experience clarity. We experience often a moment of wisdom. So be aware of that. And the last one, the 8th symptom, is a rise in self-confidence. This is happening to many people right now. Many people are taking their power back right now. Many people are becoming aware of who they are. For some people, they've studied their past, they've studied their ancestors, and they've discovered who they are. For other people, they've noticed that they are spiritual beings on a human experience, on a human mission. We're all here, spiritual beings on a human mission. But for each individual, we need to, go onto our own unique journey and recognize what we have to learn. But during this time, many people are already really, really aware, and therefore there's much higher frequency in the collective consciousness already accessible to everyone who's waking up right now, which means that it's much easier and much faster to come to that inner confidence right now than it was maybe 3 years ago or 5 years ago. Which means that when you're working on yourself, you will start to feel more confident, because you will notice that all that programming and conditioning that you are powerless, that you are unworthy, that you are not good enough, and whatever you've heard that you are not brave, that you are broken. All of that is slowly leaving your system as you're recognizing that bravery comes from training yourself to do hard things you are afraid of, right? Bravery doesn't just appear. It's like a muscle. You train yourself to do something that may feel hard at the beginning. You do it because you know you have to do it, because you know that the world needs to change, and it can change if you become the change that you wish to see. Like, if people are doing stupid things around you, a hard thing may be to tell them the truth, but to give birth to bravery means to tell them the truth, and you will feel empowered, right? Trust, for example. You may feel like you have a lack of trust, or you felt that before, but now you know that trust comes as the byproduct of doing what you wish to accomplish without quitting until you see the results. So you're recognizing, well, actually, I have much greater capacity to trust if I just do the work and I stay consistent with it. And you're doing it for such a long time that you've raised your confidence, because you know that the power is within you. The power to trust is not external but internal, right? And worthiness, my friend, worthiness comes from knowing that you don't need anything to be enough, because you've been born whole, right? And once you recognize that, you notice that it was It was conditioning that made you feel that you are not enough. It was conditioning that made you feel that you have to prove yourself, that you have to prove your worth, that you have to prove your confidence. But actually, it's your heart state. Confidence is your heart state, deciding, I will do that, I will say that, I will become it. And then just keep walking like that, right? Keep acting like that. If you say to yourself, I'm powerful, now walk like that. If you say to yourself, I'm confident, now walk like that. That's the rise in self-confidence. And with those energies, it is happening right now that more and more people are experiencing that. And I really honor you for that, because that is such a powerful experience, such a wonderful experience, and you deserve that. So my friends, I will leave you here. I hope you found something valuable today. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting. To anyone who would love to support my art, go and check out our Etsy store, I Draw My Passion. The link is in the description of this video, where you can find prints of my art, some of the original paintings, some stickers, and some other things. Go and check it out. And till next time, stay beautiful, stay magnificent as you are, stay creative, and keep becoming the change that you wish to be. My friends,